Alright boys, so if I timed this correctly, this video should be coming out as soon as the Fate Requiem event actually drops on the NA version of the game, so that way you guys have this event guide day one as the, actual event itself drops. And I've been getting a few comments from people that have been coming to my streams, which, by the way, if you're not coming out to the streams every weekday over on the Twitch, linked down in the description down below, make sure you get your butt in there. But if you're not coming out to those, what are you doing? But someone asked me, kind of how hard this event was. They were stressing out a little bit about it, and it's just kind of like every other event. Sure, there are missions, but the main gimmick here is that you're going to be moving around a game board using these dice, and these dice are going to kind of control where you land and what missions you're able to do. And that may sound stressful because you're like, oh, that sounds really random and I'm not going to be able to control where I want to go. Maybe this is going to be really frustrating or something. But as you can see here, these are going to be little dice items that you're going to get during the event. And I found when I played this event for the first time on the JP version of the game that in like the last few days of the event, I had pretty much just heaping hoops of just piles of these dice all over the place. I had way too many, right? So I could just easily even just spam like the ones and move just one space at a time all around the board to get everything that I needed, right? So it may take a little bit of getting used to when you first start the event, but trust me, as soon as you start getting some of these special dice and you can start controlling exactly where you want to go, the event is a piece of cake, right? You're not really needing to expect like any like CCC tier mission list or anything, or it's not Summer 3 with 3 different mission lists. You just got to take care of this one mission list. And dude, look at this. Some of this is like move 150 spaces, right? Like you're just gonna do this by playing the event. Like most of this is really not all that difficult, right? And as you can see, a lot of these here aren't, or if any of these are really not based on like hunt down 30 of these guys, right? Go beat up 30 divine enemies. It's just like they're kind of just things you unlock as you go about the event. So the mission part really not all that hard, especially because there's only 30 of them, right? It's like it's not that hard at all. Second of all, you have over here under the event servants. This might be a little bad for some people if you're more reliant on using like quick servants and you're like really relying on them for looping. But this event, there's not like really anything like too odd when it comes to like all of the farming nodes. Most of these are going to be pretty easy for you to go ahead and farm, as you guys can see. Aside from like this last weird one that I have been telling people about and kind of prepping them for, all of these nodes are very, very normal, right? Except for this one, which is obviously like one of the more like optimal ones to go ahead and farm. But not only is it just all berserkers that give you the least refund possible, it is this weird 3-1-1 node. But at the same time, if you've got, these single target servants to get it done, and you can maybe fit in someone like Emiya Alter will do really well here. I imagine Eris could probably do it as well with her NP, just because she has 100% special damage mod. You might actually be able to Brave Chain that second demon, or that second berserker, might be able to do it with her. So Cersei's also a really good option if you have her at high enough NP copies, because if you look at Cersei for kind of that last node, she has this 120% NP gauge. So if you have her at higher copies, or if you can go ahead and secure yourself the event damage CE early as possible and get that extra 200% damage, you should be able to get it done. Like unironically, you might be able to clear this really weird free quest node as just an idea with like Arash. I don't think Medea could do it, but some other like strong single target that can get their battery that you can give them that CE, and then Cersei might be able to at least get close, or at least be able to secure that in a Brave Chain if you ever had high enough NP copies. But that's going to be the general rule of thumb and trying to clear that out. But yeah, it's one of the more like unfortunate aspects of the event is that the event bonus servants aren't like super crazy. But then we move over to some of the free-to-play stuff, some of the stuff that we're going to be getting just for free for playing the event. First and foremost are going to be the command codes, and this is the first one you're going to be getting. You're going to get this really cute Marie one. That is actually pretty good. It gives you 100% star weight to that card, so pretty much guaranteeing that whatever card you smack this onto, it's really going to benefit that servant a lot by really just almost guaranteeing that they're going to be getting stars onto that card. Now, what I would recommend doing is I would recommend going to your servants that are like triple buster deck or something, and they have one arts card and they're really relying on that one arts card. maybe someone like Musashi, right, and smacking it on that arts card. So when they get that arts card, they just get all the stars there, refund their NP, right? Something along those lines. Or maybe you want to use it on someone like, say, Jalter, smack it on one of her buster cards to make sure she's just getting her maximum amount of damage with her buster crit. So those are the two ways I would probably use it. I'm personally just probably going to throw it on like Herc's arts card or something. Just something along those lines, just so he has an easier time refunding his NP, probably something along those lines. I would put it on my Musashi's arts card if I got Musashi, but, you know, I'm not salty about that at all. I'll just get Berserker Musashi. It's okay, man. I'm not salty at all, FGO. Lasengo, where's my Musashi? But anyway, the next one you're going to be getting is the, I guess this is a NASA one, right? This is supposed to be like NASA or something, but basically you just get 2 stars whenever you attack with the engraved card. So basically you're getting 2 stars guaranteed. It can be kind of nice if you're on like a servant that is kind of star Jenny, or is like kind of, ironically enough, we just talked about Jalter, but it's kind of like Jalter, who can drop like a decent bit of stars in a Brave chain. This might be enough to kind of push her a little over the edge to bring her from like, say, 28 stars to 30 in a Brave chain. That can be pretty good. So, you know, it's not super bad, but it's not one of like the most useful things. It also removes the ailment right here. Like it'll remove like one of these chip damage things, but you know, that's a little more situational, right? But it's still decent. It's not like the worst thing ever. And then finally we have whatever the heck that is, right? I'm pretty sure that's from actual Fate Requiem. I'm pretty sure that's what that's referencing. But yeah, this is actually pretty decent. If you want to put this on somebody that has some synergy around fighting undead people, that can be pretty thumbs up good. There's a lot of common like undead people in the game, and you know, if you have any one of these people, or you know, you pull Ibuki, I think the only ones that we have on NA right now are Scott, dude, I almost called her Scotty, Scott, Gray, and Martha Ruler over here. Ibuki will be out like later this year, and Martha will be out in like a year and a half ish, like closer to 2 years, as she is going to be a free-to-play servant. But I mean, you can smack it on Skahawk, like it'll help her out, right? Because you're gonna probably bring her to fight like an undead person anyway, right? Like, you want her to beat up a Doman over here, or whatever the heck this is, right? If you want to have her fight those, I guess it's not like the worst thing ever, right? Is what I'm saying. Even though it's only 10%, do keep in mind this will multiply. Like, let's say in the case of, let's pull up Skahawk for an instance, right? Skahawk, for example, this 10% damage against undead enemies will multiply into her 50% quick buff here. They do multiply into each other if she's fighting an undead person, and this can proc. So it will greatly gas up her damage as long as you have some of her other buffs up. So it's not completely useless. Don't look at this 10% and be like, oh, it's only 10%, it doesn't matter. It's like, no, it's multiplicative with their other buffs, right? It's very, very strong. So do keep that in mind. It's not completely useless. It's just that, like, undead is not one of the most common hard enemies. Like massive goat, like these are pretty common, I guess, in like interludes and stuff. So maybe, like, I don't want to say they're not common, but they're not like uncommon. They're very weird, right? So all I'm saying is that, like, if it's an anti-divine command code, definitely a lot better. That's all I'm saying. That, like, you get more use out of that stuff. But anyway, still very good. You can get some use out of it. The free-to-play CE, unfortunately, is a bit on the weaker side. Not only is it split between, you know, attack and HP, which we don't like to see. We really like to see the attack CEs, because getting that extra 2,000 attack can really make the world of a difference. And, you know, no starting charge on here does kind of make it a little weak. I mean, the effects here aren't bad, but, like, let's be honest. You're just going to use something else. You're going to use, like, I don't know, the Sakura CE, right? The Sakura Summer one that starts you with 50%, gives you quick and NP damage. You're going to use that, or you're just going to straight up use something like Imaginary Element, right? You're just going to use something along those lines instead of this. I mean, they're nice effects, but yeah, you're just probably not ever going to really use them. Then finally, not actually finally, the other free-to-play thing that we're going to be getting is Eris over here. Eris is a very, very strong free-to-play servant. She's pretty good. Like, I wouldn't say that she's broken like some of the other people like Kentucky Rider along those lines, but she's just really solid. As you can see, she pretty much has everything you would want like a free-to-play servant to have. Good arts buff for her arts cards and her arts NP. Survivability is always nice. Being able to pierce evasion is cool, but We would have rather it been, you know, Pierce Invincibility, but we'll still take it to beat up those dodgy boys. The insta-kill here is meant to synergize with the overcharge on our NP. Then she gets this anti-servant damage mod, which is really, really strong. A little bit of extra crit damage to give her face cards that little bit of a bite that synergizes really well with her star weight absorption here. And then, unfortunately, this doesn't proc first. If it did proc first, she would be really broken as a free-to-play servant, but still very nice that you can have her lead off an NP and clear off all of these annoying buffs for your main DPS. So can still be very, very good for that. Or you can have her clear off all the buffs for her own Brave chain and do like an arts chain, or like an arts buster chain, something along those lines. And now these following cards will be able to get a clean attack. And so very, very still, you know, useful. Just really wish it did proc first, but yeah, that's also the unfortunate thing, is that because the insta-kill thing activates first down here, by the way, it can mess up her looping ability. She is one of those servants that, like, you can get her to loop. It's just she kind of messes it up because she might insta-kill them and not get NP back, which can be a little annoying. But the final thing of the event now, actually, finally, is the challenge quest. This can be really hard if you don't know what you're actually doing, but with the special damage mod that you're going to be getting with the free-to-play CE, basically, don't let her get these evil spirits out. Just manage the evil spirits over here, and you can just obliterate Eris over here, because the evil spirits are going to cause a whole bunch of problems over here. They're going to give her damage reduction. Just blow her up with your free-to-play sabers, berserkers. If you got Bedivere, he'll do good. If you have the third summer berserker Jalter, she's going to do really well for that. Just anybody that you have that can really just burst her down is going to do very well in this challenge quest. But with all that being said, I hope this sets you guys up for success. It is really not all that scary of an event. It's pretty easy to get by on. So just make sure, you know, you kind of start it and just use like your natural AP every single day, and you'll naturally clear out the event. But with all that being said, you guys have yourselves a nice day. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We are trying to hit 100K, and we're getting close to that by nearing 20K, so your continued support is greatly appreciated. Again, I would love to see more of you guys come out to the streams over on my Twitch, linked down in the description down below. I enjoy really just hanging out with you guys there. It's just a fun time all around. And then finally, if you want to support the channel for absolutely free, you can download LD emulator down in the description down below and get yourself a nice emulator to play, you know, just really any mobile game you want on your computer. And I personally use it when I stream over on my Twitch, you know, so I personally use it, so I trust it with my own personal accounts, and you know, it's absolutely fine. You're not gonna get banned or anything. So with all that being said, I'll go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace. Late, guys.